Hi and welcome to the kitchen. Today we are going to be making poo. That's right, you heard me, feces, poo. Okay, so what happens to all the food that you eat? Obviously it goes through your body, you need to break it down so you can absorb all those nutrients and stuff to keep you healthy, to keep you moving. So let's have a look at how the body does it and where it does it. So let's start with the mouth. So this bowl here is going to be my mouth. So breakfast time. Got some nice Weetabix there, so let's slot that in. It starts to look really tasty already. Right, still hungry. Some pancakes with chocolate sauce. Why not? Okay, still feeling a bit peckish, so we've got some toast. Let's pop that in there. Yummy, yummy. Okay, so we're going to bite the toast up. Pop that in. Still hungry, still eating toast. Okay, and I'm still feeling a little bit peckish, so, you know, nice and healthy. A couple of chocolate mini rolls to finish off my tasty breakfast. Okay, so that's everything I've eaten. It's in my mouth, big mouth. Bit thirsty, need something to wash it down with, so we're going to put a bit of orange juice in there. Right, obviously you've got teeth in your mouth. The teeth are there to provide a mechanical breakdown of the food that you're eating. It helps to break the food up into smaller pieces, which gives a larger surface area. So to represent our teeth, I'm going to use the masher. Okay, so I'm going to start mashing up everything. It's looking really tasty. Now, you'll also know that as you start to eat or even think about eating, your mouth releases saliva. Okay, saliva helps to lubricate the food you're eating, so it makes it easier for you to swallow it. But it also contains an enzyme called amylase. Now, enzymes are special chemicals which speed up the rate of reaction. In this case, the amylase is going to start to break down the starch in the food that you're eating. And it breaks the starch down into glucose. Okay, so let's add some saliva in there as well. Right, so we're going to give it a really good chew up. Okay, so we can see it's starting to be broken up into much smaller pieces with a much bigger surface area. Okay, so after chewing, we then swallow. It goes down the tube to your stomach, which is called the esophagus. Okay, and the esophagus sort of contracts to push the food down into your stomach. Now, your stomach is essentially a big muscular bag, and the food can sit in there for a few hours, and as it's in there, the stomach will sort of start contracting, mushing it, mixing it even more. So we've got the food going down, it's stuck. Let's give it a little bit of a scoop to help it. Let's just free it up. Okay, so it goes down the esophagus. This is where it could all go horribly wrong. Into the stomach. Okay, so the food is now in the stomach. You can see it's looking really appetising. And there's a few things that happen in your stomach. The first one we have is hydrochloric acid. Okay, whenever you've been sick in the past, you often get like a sort of slight burning in your throat afterwards. That's the hydrochloric acid coming up from your stomach and actually burning your esophagus and your throat as it comes up. The hydrochloric acid doesn't actually help to break down the food in your stomach, but it helps to kill any bacteria that you may have swallowed, and it provides the right pH in the stomach for the enzymes in the stomach to work. So let's put a little bit of hydrochloric acid in there. Okay, and in the stomach we have another enzyme which is called protease. Now, probably no surprise here, but protease breaks down protein. So the breakdown of protein starts in the stomach. The protein gets broken down into amino acids. So let's put a little bit of protease in there. Okay, so I'm just going to tie my bag shut. We don't want it coming back out. And as we said, the food sits there in the stomach for a few hours, just being mixed churned up by this big muscular bag that is your stomach. Okay, so that gives the protease enzyme a good chance to work and break down the proteins that are in your stomach. Now, after a little bit of time in your stomach, the food then passes through into your small intestine. Now, your small intestine is essentially a long tube coiled up inside your stomach. Okay, it's about sort of 25 metres in length. So my small intestine here is a bit shorter than that. And as the food passes through there, we absorb all the nutrients from the food that we're eating, and the food then keeps passing along through to the large intestine. So every so often we've got this little valve at the bottom of the stomach which opens and allows food to pass through. Quite a bigger hole. Food to pass through into